Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It is Sunday, September 12th, 2021. I hope everybody is well. I'll do my quick little, all readings and divinations are for the purposes of entertainment only. I'm not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek those. Remember that, okay, Leo sign, I'll check, that each question is $5 and 30% goes to charity. I always donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, but I saw recently that with Hurricane Ike, and I'm sure they'll get federal funding, blah, blah, blah. There's another local food bank, I have to look it up again, that was completely destroyed. So I don't know if I want to look and see what happens to the people in those areas. Do they then go to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, or where do they go? And where their supplies come, so we can help, ration, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I like the Community Food Bank of New Jersey because for every dollar that gets donated, it provides for 3 meals. So that means a little goes a long way. I take the donations off the top. So the $5 that you donate, not after PayPal takes their cut from me. I just take it from the $5 and I donate it that way. I'm really, really, really loving my psychic development circles I have going. I have one currently, and it will go through, I think, the second week in October. And I just wanted to get used to the new schedule with my girls being back in school to see how I wanted to do, if I wanted to open up another circle or not. So in October, I'll open up one more circle for sure. But if you're interested, please let me know. I do have a wait list starting. And it's not necessarily that you want to become a psychic medium and do big readings, although you can. It's really to help you, and I will teach you how to, as you do getting your messages and stuff, I teach you how to connect in with your own intuition and understand what's coming through and how to develop your messages further. Because your intuition is your greatest asset, truly. Let's see. I'm going to start offering private readings just slightly differently than I normally offer them. I normally just say an hour, half hour, and just, you pay for, and then I connect in with your energy and I give you what I get, and you can get mediumship and blah, blah, blah. It's all kind of like a whole big spiel, but I think I'm going to break it down because, I'm just really being guided to do them a little differently, where I would offer just straight mediumship or the combination like I've always done. But people are kind of wanting like so much, and it's really, I'm having a hard time giving all the information in the allotted time. And I have such a heart that I just want to share it, and I don't want to cut you off, and I want you to get what you need from the reading. But I also want to do one where if you're geared more towards manifestation, because I am a psychic medium, and I don't think that, there's a lot of people who are into manifesting and they say like, you don't need a tarot reader, you don't need a psychic, and blah, blah, blah. True. And here's where we're beneficial in that sense. Sometimes we're on a path and we're really not sure if we're doing it right and we're manifesting right. And, if we're setting our intentions right, and then we spend so much time worrying about it. And what happens is with psychic readings is, number one, it's a filter. So I'm doing the manifesting stuff. So I have a lot of knowledge of it. And a lot of healing and all of that stuff behind me and all the medical stuff. So what it does is I capture a moment and see where your energy is at in that moment and the trajectory you're headed. It doesn't, and I always tell people, it doesn't mean you can't change it, right? So the first half, I feel like I would be connecting in with your energy and giving you everything that I get. And then we sort of focus on more of the second half of focusing on your manifesting and where you're blocked and the belief systems that are stopping you from moving forward. And I talked about this a little bit on the last live I did, where I was just chatting on Friday, where, I had a woman who's a friend of mine now. She was a client and she asked me about, she had set a goal for weight loss and she was doing great, but all of a sudden she's kind of plateaued. And I was able to find that belief system within her that was holding her back. And it was sort of that idea that we get that we're perfect as we are. And so then wanting a specific weight or whatever then turns into whether, you're not really necessarily heavy, but you want a specific weight to drop just a little bit more. And then feeling that you're at the same time feeling that you're being superficial or not really accepting yourself as you are. There's all these little things. And that's what all it was. And I'm like, you have a right to like want that. And that's okay to want to go just a little bit lower and, have your body be in the best shape possible, or, it's okay to want that, and to like allow her to release that so she can continue to move on her journey towards her goal. And I see this a lot with, and I'm going to move on from this in a minute because I can always do this as a talk. I really like doing these talks, and I really hope that you guys decide to join me in them, because all of the stuff that happens in my brain is what helps. Like, it's all of me connecting into my intuition and my guides. And so it sort of will maybe help you become more observant of the world, I suppose. I don't know. Continue on your spiritual journey, instead of just sort of doing the tip of the iceberg like we're doing here. But shyster, y'all. Okay, I'll look up. I speak my truth. I forgot where I was at, y'all. Shoot. That happens when I go from doing the kind of flowing in my intuition. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It'll come back to me. I'm stumped. If anybody wants to remind me where I was at when I stopped, that'd be fantastic. So, anyway, with manifesting, I see that people with manifesting, a lot of people go, well, manifest what you want within reason, or what's a reasonable manifestation? I think, what? First of all, reasonable is completely subjective. And second of all, like that, then there is putting your own limiting beliefs on what really is. And you can manifest whatever you want. You just have to like remove those limiting beliefs. And a lot of us have what's reasonable for money or for love, or, I mean, for really anything that they don't. And then that goes into the idea of like what you deserve and what you don't deserve. So let's get started with the questions. I want to send out lots and lots of love to everybody, and send out healing to everybody. If you need it, it's coming towards you. If you want to give it, send it out. We'll just take about 10 seconds here. Kind of close our eyes and visualize a nice white light entering through the top of our head from the heavens, and kind of leaving out, you can take your chest, your hands, your arms, wherever you decide that sort of your third eye, whichever way you want to go. It doesn't really matter, your throat chakra. The divine universe will send the energy and filter it as needed, and it will go out, send it out to all the women, especially in Texas. Send it out to my client, Jessica, for her healing. I'm going to send it out to another one of my clients. I don't want to mention her name, but she's having some dental work done this week. So I want to send it out to her preemptively so that everything goes smoothly. Any healing that anybody needs right now, if you want to just put your focus on it and send it out to those people. All right. Okay, let's get moving. So I've got Devery with 2 questions. Mallory, Margaret, Emily F., Linda Drost, and Rachdan. Okay, so let me see. So, okay. KK, you did not have to donate. Oh, that's K, not KK. Sorry. Jeez. Okay, so I've got Leo sign after Rachdan for 2. Let me see if KK, are you here? Did I see you? Oh, I did see you. So after Rachna, I'm sorry, Rachna is probably Rachdan, or Rakdon, Racdhon. Okay, sorry. Thank you for being here, everybody. KK is amazing. She has been beyond wonderful to me. I cannot thank her enough. Rakdon, sorry, it should be Rachna. Sorry. Leo sign has 2. Lorraine has 1. And Kay has 1. Okay, so let me see what we got here. Debbie with your meds. Is this like a low dose? Because this is what you don't have to answer it just yet, but thank you for Jeffrey. I keep feeling like it's working, but they may have to like recheck the levels and increase the dosage just slightly. Like it feels like you're not getting quite enough. And that's why you're getting the breakthrough bleeding and stuff. So it feels like they'll need to increase the dosage. Okay. And then for the second one, I have 2 interviews that are coming up. Will I get one of them or something else? I just want to try this a different way. I feel like the first, so this is the way I'm asking it because I'm putting them as 1 and 2 since you didn't give me names of company, which is totally fine. That's not necessary. But so I, instead of asking it either of those or that one, I said which will be better. And I feel like the first company you interview with, because I just put them as 1 and 2, it's like which one comes first and then second, will be a stronger interview and will be a better candidate. So would you go with that one or would you go with another completely different one? And I feel like you'll go with the first one. I don't feel like you'll take go with a different one. They're telling me, so I was like, what's better about it? It feels more room for growth. And it just feels more solid, like a more, so I'm asking what the solid means. And it sort of feels like, I just feel like the energy of the space feels more solid. It feels more like the people that I'll have to interact with are more reliable and more organized. And so it just feels like this, it feels more, I don't want to say safe. It just feels like a better fit. Thank you so much, Space Vibes. We'll stay here and just hang out. Maybe you'll catch some information that would be helpful. So I like donating to charity because I like helping people out, and you know, everybody needs to eat, right? All right, Devery, was that helpful? Does that make sense when I say it's like, I don't know, it'll make sense, I think, when you sit in it. Your energy feels a little more calm this week too, by the way, like settled. Yeah. All right, Miss Mallory, are you here? So I've got Mallory, I've got Margaret, and Emily F. If any of you want to ask your questions. And I speak my truth. I will check for your donation. I don't have it yet, but it does. Oh, I've got you. Is that I speak my truth? Are you Lorraine? I'm assuming. Because I've got you in here for 2 now. Okay, perfect. Oh, EC, you're Emily. I'm sorry. It wasn't in the, I sometimes, you know, I just don't remember everybody, and I apologize. It's not that you're not important. It is like, I am not kidding. I can see, like, I would see coworkers out and I wouldn't recognize them because they weren't in the space I expected them to be. I don't know if it's like face blindness. I don't know what it is, but it's my thing. So I would also, there was people I worked with for years and I never knew their name. And it wasn't that they weren't important. It's just that I'm not great with names. It's something I really, really have to work very, very hard on. But I'll remember your face. I'll know a voice. I can recognize a voice anywhere. I remember I saw Kathleen Turner out in New York one day. She was in front of me in the grocery store and she started talking and I was like, I know her voice. So like voices are really, I got that. Yes, thank you for understanding the disparity with the initials is confusing. That's why I asked when you go in if you can put a note, just to put your screen name, it's helpful. Okay, thanks, Sherry. I'll check. Okay, so Mallory, are you here? Anybody else want to put? Oh, there you are, love. Okay, I had an injury this week. I'm wondering if you see me healing up quickly. Okay, let's see. Oh God, quickest is really relative with injuries. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, it's quick. But in the short term, it doesn't feel quick. Dragon Empress is on here. She's paid for one question. So I actually felt I felt 6 weeks, even though you may have been told 6 to 8 weeks. And there's something about 7, and I don't know what 7 is. So maybe in 7 days you go back in and you get rechecked, or I don't know, but it feels like it's going to take about, they may have said 6 to 8 weeks. I feel closer to the 6 weeks, but 7 seems significant, but it doesn't feel like the weeks. It feels like days. Does this make sense? And I'm asking because it feels like a break, and it feels more like either like a strain or a sprain. And it just feels like whatever area it's in, it's actually something that's not, like tendons aren't as vasculated as other areas. And so, or vascular. So it takes longer for them to heal. Your next appointment is October 7th. Okay. All right. That's very, very validating and confirming. That's really cool. Thank you. I don't know why. And sometimes like for you guys, when I give readings and it's like the little messages that like make a small fracture on the talus bone. Okay. So something that's not very, it's okay. So 6 to 8 weeks makes sense for a fracture. And what is the 7th? Oh, I'm like trying to figure out what's the, like, let me look at my little calendar and see how many weeks it is till the 7th. Then I think that's less than 4 weeks. Yeah. 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 So I think 6 to 8. So I think by 6 you'll feel pretty back to normal. 8's normal for a bone fracture, right? Bone break, bone fracture, unless it's like what do you call it? Compound fracture where it like comes out of the skin and all that good stuff. About 4. Okay. So fantastic. There you go. You'll be good. So grand scheme of things of life, 6 weeks is nothing, right? But like short term, it feels like it's a long time. You'll get through it though. I feel like it will be more annoying than painful for you. Like just more like, the accommodations and adjustments that you have to make for injuries like that. All right. You're very welcome, Miss Mallory. I hope back to school is good for you right now, other than the injury. I hope it feels like calm and all of that stuff. My girls went back for the first 2 days, and then my little one, my 4-year-old, went to pre-K 4. And she's really funny. She's extremely articulate because she's been spending the last year and a half with my 8-year-old. And so I had to tell this story because I think it's funny. I picked her up the first day and I was like, oh, how was your day? And I said, did any, and then we got to the point I asked her, like, if anything good happened, if anything bad happened, did she, I try to ask her all different questions so I get a lot more information from her. And she was cute because she's like, well, I cried because I really missed D, who's my 8-year-old. And I was like, oh, I was worried that she was, because I have to drop her off early so my other girls can make it to school on time. And she's just in a room where they kind of play for a little while before their school starts, because my kids all start at the same time and schools are kind of far apart. And and I said, well, is there a grown up with you? I said, was there a teacher in there? She's like, no. And I'm like, so, was there a grown up in the room? Yeah. And she thought I had to go to the bathroom. So she took me to the bathroom and I didn't have to go to the bathroom. That was odd. So like just getting the information from her is really funny to me, like how she, processes and whatever. Okay, Renee, I'll check. So I guess, Mallory, then you needed some of that healing we sent out to you. Yes, absolutely. Add yourself to the list. Okay, so now we'll go to Margaret if you want to ask your question okay, so after Dragon Empress, I have Sherry for one. And I have one for Digital Evolution, but I don't think that's your screen name. So if you could let me know, that would be fantastic. Oh, you made it. Okay. I am manifesting a new apartment, hopefully next year. I'm in Manhattan now. Like to stay, but also looking at the Bronx. Any suggestions of where I should look at when I might move? I don't think you're going to go to the Bronx. I think my sense is that you're going to go to, is it called Inwood? It's the upper west side of Manhattan. So like, I think it's like 200 and Dykeman area. It's further north of Fort Tryon, or right around there, maybe just a little bit north of there. Let me see. Yeah, it's like Inwood, the Inwood area, or maybe just south of there. I'm just looking at the blocks. I want to say like 207 is the feeling I get. Like 207th, if you look in that area, is where it's, by the way, it's a really pretty area. But that's where they kept showing me the map of Manhattan, and up there, not quite, it's really close to the Bronx, but it's not in the Bronx, is the feeling I get. Why is that interesting? Were you looking on the east side? I'm going to have a Ricola. I've received no money from Ricola. It's when I went to my I was doing my you used to live near there. I don't know. I keep feeling that, and I keep seeing this. There's this one house, and I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of little historical thing. I used to work up there at a clinic up there when I was doing travel nursing, one of the New York Presbyterian clinics. Yeah, so there was but it's just, I keep seeing this block that I used to walk on. I'd go on my break and I'd go for walks. I think people don't understand me when I work with them, because I literally would on my breaks, I would either eat by myself or go and just go for a walk by myself. I wasn't really great at socializing, because I felt like I had been bombarded with people's energy, with all the patients, that I just needed to reset. So then having it so I always probably was perceived as maybe a little less social. All right, Crystal, I'll check. So that's what I feel. That's what I've shown. So let us know. All right, EC, you're up. Oh, it's Linda Drost, I think, is going to be a little bit late. Oh, Renee, I got yours for 2. I think that's your marketing company. Oh, wait, I just answered. Okay, sorry. I just got confused. Forgive me. Okay, EC. I'm looking to start a side hustle. Where should I focus? Is there somewhere else I should put my energy that would prove more lucrative? Do you have some respiratory stuff going on right now? I just felt it like my chest, my nose. While I was reading that, that was really weird. Sorry. You can call me weirdo. Tis what it is. All right. Hello, Lana. Good to see you. KK, I'm adding you in here after Renee. I don't know, but you can go, however we'll go by your list on there, but I'm adding you in here so don't forget. Crystal has one and Lana has one. You think, oh, okay, so that's what that is. Ooh, that was weird. Okay. All right, so let's look at, sorry. Sometimes when you pick things up psychically, if you're clairsentient, or like people like to say, I'm empathic. I hate that word because I feel like it's so limiting and annoying, and it you just go, I'm just this way, but I'm like, oh, but you could do so much more. Anyway, so when you're clairsentient, if you start to feel other stuff like randomly, like I just did, find out like if it's usually not yours. And the minute that you get it validated, or that you're like aware it's not yours, it goes away. Hope they're paid readings, remember? Did you see the other day? Maybe it was last week. I don't know. We sent you healing, Hope. I hope that you felt it. Okay. Okay, starting where should I focus? Is somewhere else put my energy that prove more lucrative. So here's my question for you, because it's like that's a very, very broad 2 questions instead of 1. Let's see how we can fold that into 1. Let me ask you this first, and then this will make it. Do you know what you want to do in that side hustle, or are you just like, I should get a side hustle? You're very welcome, Hope. So I'm just waiting. So do you know exactly what you want to do, or do you? I wasn't sure how to word it and wouldn't be. No, I don't want you to send an additional. I'm going to help you. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, thank you. Like, so you have an idea. You didn't even have to say what I said. So you have an idea of specifically what you want to do. Okay, so it's not like you're just asking me to do that. Okay, so all right. So let's see. So let's look at if you should focus on. I actually feel like yours should be a combination of tarot and astrology rather than tarot or astrology. And here's why, because they're telling me you have a unique way of connecting with astrology and making it more, I don't want to say palatable, but like connectable, if that's a word. It's not a word, I don't think. But to like somebody like me, I love astrology. I think it's fascinating, and I think it's fucking confusing. Because if you watch a lot of astrologers, they're like, oh, there's a trine, there's a this, there's that. I'm like, and like, I don't know what that means. And how does that affect things? So like, I just feel like you have a way of making it like understandable and relatable. So I managed to make it a little easier to understand. Yes. understand, and then like, how do I, and also in a way make it then, and now how do I apply it to my life, right? My friend Tony's an astrologer. I really, really like him. He's got and you might find some of his shows interesting. He's got a podcast called Cosmic Tuesdays, but it's on Mondays. And I have to think of what it's on. It's on Spreaker, I think. I think it's on Spreaker. Anthony Pico, Picco, and it's Cosmic Tuesdays. And he's like sort of like, he's like a practical astrologer, and that's how I feel about you. Like just making it like really practical instead of like, you know, like someone told me and somewhere in my chart I have like curses through the female line. This is a little. My chiropractor is Russian he was born in Russia. His family's Russian, and he was telling me that one of his mom's friends does some kind of astrology. I don't know what it is. And she told me, saw my birth chart and said, I have like curses in my female line. So you make it more practical instead of freaky. Yes. Yeah. Like they would play on each other. Like, okay, we see what's going on with your chart. Now let's see if we could get a little more detail with the cards, kind of thing like that. I feel like it looks like it works that way. Or if you go on YouTube and you make like a YouTube reading, you'd be like, okay, this is what's going on in the stars. Let's see what, like, or you do like a tarot reading. You're like, okay, let's going on in the stars and see how that lines up or whatever. When Tony and I have done joint readings, I'll give all the information I get for a person when they ask a question, and then he'll look at their chart and go, oh yeah, you can see this in your chart when this and this and this is happening. For some reason, I feel like it, or you do like a thing with like what's going on with the general planets. And like, say you have your general readings and you'd say like, say if you do like one video for just the planets, what's going on in the planets right now, like it's Mercury retrograde and these other planets are in retrograde and da, 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 and these planets are trining. And then you would have like your readings, and then during your readings you might say like if you had like a general card reading for Cancer, so we'll say that way. I have a lot of water in my chart, by the way. No earth, no air, not really. Anyway, so what you would do is, I probably have earth somewhere because I have to be a little grounded, right? What you would end up doing is like saying like, oh, now and then what's going on with the planets right now? This is how this might affect you, blah, 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 blah. I'll leave it at that. And it's not about, so you know that you can manifest whatever you want, right? So if you just need to see it, like you just need to manifest it. I'm actually thinking of, I'm going to see how it works on my own. I'm going to set up a whole journal system, like on how I do things. It's sort of how I do right now anyway, but then teaching people how to become observers of their environment instead of just like reacting or not knowing how. And then like, because I want to teach you how to figure out and then refine your ability to manifest the same way I teach people to refine their ability to do readings and connect in psychically. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Does that sound fair enough? I just feel like you should be manifesting in order that it's not that the money's not there. I'm telling you the money's there. There's so much money out there and people love paying for readings like that. So they will be helpful. And it's also really helpful when you're practical about it rather than like, I listened to this one woman, and while I don't fully agree with like her viewpoint on stuff, which is totally okay. That's the beauty of connecting, like of figuring out what you believe spiritually. You don't have to believe what everybody believes, right? If there is no whatever, you just do your own path and your own journey, and it's totally cool. But I was listening to her, and what I really liked is she was kind of saying like, people will be able to discern. And I always wanted to be helpful. And I walk away from these sometimes, like, especially when I first started feeling really nervous. And like now that I'm starting the live chats, it's not my wheelhouse, but I keep being pulled and drawn to do this. And that's sort of what I wanted to start this channel for anyway. you'll get feedback that it's helpful because of the way you do it and your delivery. And you'll be like, the right people will be drawn to you to want that, like you can help the most, right? So I always find the right people are drawn to me that either I've had experiences and I can sort of give them a different view, or the way readings kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when stuff comes through psychically, you're their filter. So you will be helping someone. It doesn't mean you'll be helping everybody, and that's okay, because there's other people to help other people, right? You don't have to do it all. And it's okay to be nervous. It's normal to be nervous. Just don't let it paralyze you, okay? I think Linda Dross, I don't know if you're here yet. You said you had something until 5. It's not quite 5 yet, so we'll keep moving on to Rock Dawn. You're here. And while I'm waiting for Rock Dawn, I'll address some of these other things. Annika, you said that you're learning the differences. Oh, you're here. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Arjun is trying to get a Canadian work visa on his own so we can meet in Canada. His parents are trying to arrange a marriage for him to a random Indian girl so he can go live in Canada. God. This is not to be offensive, but I'm certainly glad I don't know that I would be cut out for that lifestyle of arrangements. Oh yeah. My manner. Oh, okay. I'll check Chanel. Hang on. Will he be able to get a Canadian work visa on his own, or will he agree to his parents' arranged marriage? He will not agree to that arranged marriage. I don't feel like it at all. Oh, I did get yours, Chanel. I just saw it. So after Lana will be Chanel for 2, and then Regine for 2. So I don't feel like he'll agree to that. I do feel like he'll get a work visa, and I'm getting closer to like 2 or 3 months. So I don't know if that's the waiting time, but it feels like in 2 to 3 months he'll be able to. And I was like, well, wait, did you mean February or March for 2 to 3? And they're like, no, it's 2 to 3 months. I'm glad my voice is relaxing. Do you know that I used to hate my voice? And it took me a long time, and finally sort of like healing that and doing like the affirmations and stuff to really like my voice and feel like it was okay. He applied a year ago. So then like 2 to 3 months from now would be about right. But it might just take some time. I know someone else who's getting a visa, and it's just like they're backed up. It's not that's what I got for this other person too. They're just backed up. It's just slow because of COVID. So I do feel like he'll get the work visa. I don't feel like he'll be doing that arranged marriage. I feel like his mom is the real heavy hand in the family. Like I feel like the dad sort of just goes whatever, like to stay out of the mom's way. What's this one for? This is for okay. Oh, that was for Linda. Okay. My manager refused to talk to me. I explained why I was absent from work. Will they fire me? No salary for this month. Please see. I am worried. Okay. Have you been having a little bit of ringing in your right ear lately? Because I just felt my ear kind of open up. So the reason why I smiled is because they said to me, "You'll have to manifest this for her because she is really too nervous." And so so I'm going to ask all of you here, especially my regulars who are always here. I want you to see Roxanne coming back on here because I do feel like you'll keep your job, you'll get your salary, it'll be fine. That you will be fine and that you're going to come on here and you're going to tell us you're fine. You got your job, you have your payment, you're fine. So that to me means it's going to happen, but it's like they're saying that you need the reassurance to know that we're all seeing this happening for you. We're all manifesting this and calling this in for you. So prayers on your behalf, essentially. But prayers as affirmations as if we already know it's happening. Not, please, Lord Jesus. None of that. We don't do that here. It's weird, the feeling I get around your manager is like they sort of like that they're like that power, like I'm in charge, you don't mess with me, you know, I'm in charge. And like don't talk back, that kind of. They're showing me him, your manager is a little man. I don't know what that means. So it just feels like you'll have to apologize, like, oh, I'll never do it again, like grovel in a way. Like it's like this weird power play game, like but it feels like you're better off remaining quiet, because I felt like this idea of like, so when you said the thing that someone's talking on your behalf, that is the best thing to do, to remain quiet, to just apologize and move. But I don't think you're going to stay at this job forever and ever and ever. I feel like you're going to, you know, like this is a temporary stepping stone to something else. I don't know if we've talked about that before, but it feels like finding something better sooner than later. Okay. Leo sign, you're up. Perfect. Okay. All right, Rockton. I hope that was helpful. You'll get your money this month. You will, absolutely. I will see soon start. Do they do that over there? Is that like normal for them to be like, no, you're not getting paid now? You know, other countries are different than here, unfortunately, or fortunately in some cases. I literally just started hearing, I don't know if any of you guys remember the facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad, something like that. And I had the facts of life. I don't know why. Okay, I will soon start a new full-time job, but that will probably end in the middle of January. Will I find a new job after that, or will my job situation be then? So you're taking like a temp job, or is it like a, what do you call it, like a contract-y type thing? Like I used to do 13-week contracts. Oh, you haven't worked. You're welcome. Contract. Okay. I actually feel like they may renew it. So I don't know why they would do that, but it's like they're making me feel like when I did travel nursing and I took 13-week contracts, that like they'll offer you a renewal probably like 2 weeks before it ends. I don't know if that resonates with you at all, but that's the feeling I get. Is that like you're more towards the end of that contract, they're going to offer you to like re-sign or sign an extension of some sort. What's your second question? And then I speak my truth and K are up. Yeah, they'll like you. I just heard you're better than the last guy. And then if you want to write your second question, Leo sign. I don't know what a bush plane is. I'm assuming it's a smaller one. I knew you meant your life, not your loaf. Hi, Vicki. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna look at the book contract first, and then I'll look at the planes for you. Okay, Kay. So they said the first one won't change your life that much. The first book won't change your life that much. It'll be when the second one comes that your life starts to have more changes and shifts in it. So that's not your only book you're writing, I guess. Yeah. And I feel like you'll have more money when the second one comes, but they're making me feel like it's not that you really change your lifestyle. It's more about feeling the, just having the comfort of knowing you have more cushion. So then maybe it's when the second edition comes is when it changes. They're just telling me it's not with the first that your life changes so much, it's with the second one. I think someone's talking about me. Either that or one of you has an itchy nose. All right, Kay. Do you see me getting into flying? I actually don't. And here's why. I feel like what's going to happen is that not initially, it's going to be a little while before you actually do. I should say that. Not never. Just not. I feel like it's years down the road. And I feel like what happens is I really, really, really love doing this. And in about 18 months, your life becomes busier to where you don't have the time to you're like, I really don't have time for lessons and everything else. And so it's like you start putting money away for when you will have time for lessons. So then, because flying planes is expensive. I don't know, maybe you're just loaded, so it really doesn't matter. And money's not an object. But what I feel like happens is then maybe 4 years down the road, between years 4 and 8. So it takes a little while for you to get all the licensures that you want and the hours in that you need to have. Because I think you have to have instrument hours and all of that stuff. I randomly know pilots. So my roommate's boyfriend in college, my freshman year, was actually, he graduated a year ahead of me from my high school, and he's now a commercial airline pilot, but at the time he was just flying little 4-seaters. And he flew up to visit or to get us, because then we flew back to Milwaukee from Eau Claire. And I was shitting my pants the whole time. I same thing, like on my honeymoon, we went on a helicopter in Hawaii, which is really windy. And I like took 2 Dramamine because I get motion sick, and I did not feel it at all because I had so much adrenaline running through my body. And I was like, I guess my husband said I was squeezing his leg the whole time. I'm not really good knowing that like the wind could whip around. I don't know. I just like, yeah. And like, then this guy, when he was flying us, I was freaked, I think because it was like a little plane. And also I knew him very, like not very well, but I knew him. And so it was like, my life was in his hands, and I didn't know him well enough to have my life in his hands. It's the whole thing. Never really questioned getting in a car with anybody, but a plane was a problem for me. So I feel like it'll be like so from yours, like, so 4 to 8 years from now is when you're like getting all of your hours in and all of your, and that's when it happens. I don't know. It's not about not wanting to fly. It's about just not having the time to do it. Like it's like the commitment time to do it. And then like wanting to, I feel like setting aside money and stuff. So that's what they're showing me. Okay. I speak my truth. Are you here? If you want to ask your question, and then Dragon, Empress, and Sherry. What does my Aunt Lourdes want me to know right now? So, can we talk about the voices? I just looking for clarity, and I know I could ask my guides, but I just feel like it's. I do feel there's probably underlying depression, family mental health issues, but not like crazy, but like family depression, bipolar type stuff. It's weird to me because I feel like they're almost intrusive thoughts, but intrusive thoughts like more connected to ADHD than like, say, hallucinatory type thoughts. But it's screaming at you, like scary screaming, or just like very loud? Scary screaming or very loud? Which one? Loud. Okay. I don't, when you say you hear a child moving into your body, they're telling you a child's going to be in your body, or you feel like something is coming into your body? Like, you feel like a spirit is, I don't want to say possessing. Okay. That's totally different than what you're, the way, okay. I'm glad that you said it specifically that way. That's totally different than a child moving into my body. That's totally different than, okay, no. I will tell you this, that I always would feel pregnant about 6 months before I ever got pregnant. I just knew. And then I just knew that I was like, especially with my second and my third, I was like, oh, I guess the baby's coming. And I like, so, okay. So I'm going to say this to you, and the hi mom thing is because you're clairaudient, and sometimes you will hear your guides as you drift off to sleep, and you might still in between that sleep wake state, you're not going crazy. But I do think there's family like depression, bipolar stuff in your family, and so there might be some low level depression for you too, and intrusive thoughts in the sense of like ADHD, like I don't know. Okay. So I want you to do this. Okay. You're just clairaudient. It's not really in your head. I don't know how to explain it. You're not crazy. Did your aunt have depression? And I don't think the two are related, but did your aunt have depression? And then KK, I don't know if you want to, let me look at how many. I don't know if you want to close the list, KK. I'm sticking with this feeling of there being some like underlying depression or bipolar stuff going on in your family, just because it was so like evident coming through. To me, not whatever. It's not your inner child. You're hearing spirit. Okay. So what I want you to do is, I don't feel like this is a question I'm supposed to answer of who everybody is. I feel like activity is very busy around you. Okay. Do you know if you had a miscarriage at all? My sense is that you really need to like ask, like, so when you hear something, ask in your head quietly, not out loud. Okay. You had what you did you had a miscarriage years ago. I'm wondering if that's who you heard was the baby that you miscarried years ago. That's my sense. I want to first state that any belief system that abortion is wrong or bad or you're going to hell or the baby that's all fucking bullshit. I promise you, if a life is meant to be here, it will be here no matter what. I have taken care of a child that was the product of a botched abortion. So if you're meant to be here, fucking be here. Okay. So don't ever hold that and feel like, oh, I'm going to go to hell now. You're not. That's just not the way it works. And everybody needs to like relax about that. So if anybody makes you ever feel bad about that, just know that you're okay. You're fine. You're good. We all make mistakes. You did not take away, you cannot expunge a soul. You got rid of a cluster of cells is essentially what you got rid of. It was not viable. And I'm not laughing because like, you made a difficult decision. No, and anybody who says differently or thinks that you're using it as a form of birth control is sorely mistaken. So any guilt that you might have connected to that needs to be let go, okay? You didn't harm that soul in any way whatsoever. So my sense is that you're supposed to start connecting with these energies just a little bit and in your head saying, who are you? Can I help you? Don't say it out loud because then you do look like a crazy person. And we want to demystify being psychic and clairaudient and clairsentient and claircognizant and clairvoyant and all of that. And we also want to let you do it without getting called crazy. So start connecting with them in your head. Ask the questions. Ask 20 questions. That'll help you. So a lot of this, what you're getting into is so much. I can't do this in a 5-minute, like this little $5 question. It's like so much. You might benefit honestly from doing my psychic development circle when it comes up again in October, because I can't. This is so much. There's so much we're trying to unpack here. Okay. So. I don't know that I don't know that you're going to be able to, you can completely shut it down. Just tell everybody to go away and don't talk to you ever again. But I don't think you're meant to. And I think that you'll get to a point where it'll be okay, but I really think that you need to learn to develop it. So whether you do it with me or you take some other psychic development course or whatever, it would be really beneficial to you. And it's not necessarily for you to go do readings for everybody else. Again, it's for your own peace of mind. So, and this is the other thing I think about healings. Now, maybe it's my own belief system, but this is my view on it. Take what you want from it. Healings are great, but you also have to be willing to do the work. I see too many times where I see people going, I don't want to, I just want somebody to take it away. I don't have to do the work, blah, blah, blah. And it never seems to stick. So you should be empowered to know how to take care of it on your own. Okay. So it's not about removing. So removing comes from a place of fear, right? So you want to send it away with love. Love is more powerful than fear. Fear means I'm weak and I can't handle this on my own and I'm afraid, go away, you're bad. But love is like, okay, cool, like I get, but it's time to go and I love you, but this is my space. So I'm going to send you away with love. I'm going to call upon Archangel Michael to surround you with a white light of protection and keep you safe and keep me safe. I'm going to call upon Archangel Raphael to surround you with a green light of healing and to surround me with a green light of healing. And I'm going to call upon Archangel Gabriel to surround you with, I don't know what the color of the light is of Gabriel. I just usually ask Gabriel to help with communication, clear communication that everybody understands. And then call upon Archangel Chamuel for love, right? To let them know that they're loved, that you love them, send them on their way. And then we ask that they all summon that person into the light and take that person into the light. I think that that's going to be what's beneficial for you to remove this, but I have to move on from this because this is so big and so much. It's not really like, and then you're also asking for a mediumship thing. So I have to kind of pick and choose. I'm actually not feeling your Aunt Lorraine here, other than I felt the depression and I felt, Was Aunt Lorraine pretty abrupt in the way she spoke and like really direct and didn't mince words? I mean, not Aunt Lorraine, Lourdes. Aunt Lourdes. Forgive me for the Lorraine thing. I don't know why Lorraine came up as a name. Sorry, probably somebody else. Her name is Lourdes. I know, I fixed it. That's my fault. Lorraine is somebody else on here, I think. Sorry. Would she ever tell somebody to... Do you have another aunt in spirit? So I literally heard that you need to get your shit together, but it has nothing to do with the spiritual stuff. It just feels like disorganized and needing to like sort of get myself together and like focus on like being productive and being so is there any way that Lourdes might have said something like that, like very abrupt? I don't feel like your room is literally messy, but they're showing me like needing to organize things better, needing to be like live a little bit more structured is the feeling I get, rather than, so it's not like, it's just like creating a structure throughout my day and doing it because I feel like I'm getting okay, maybe that's where the ADHD comes in, where I said to you, of like intrusive thoughts with ADHD. Because it just feels like I need to create a structure in my life. You know, how do people with ADHD like get through? They create structure and lists and like staying on task and creating time frames and setting alarms. And it just feels like I need to do that in my life. That's the feeling I got. Well, right. So look, I can get into modes with all of this spiritual stuff where, especially where I'm like really connecting in with my guides and like sort of looking at paths I'm going to take and stuff like that, where I can be like connecting with them and like writing and like researching because I start getting input on what I should be doing for hours easily. And I have to structure my day so that I'm not doing that. So it's, what's Shekto? Oh, schizophrenic. Okay. So they're telling me that you need to, maybe that's why I'm not feeling Lourdes, because the message isn't, but you hear voices in my body, not my head. Okay. So as long as they're not telling you to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, and you're, you know, working with your therapist and all of that, I feel like, you know, I can't keep talking here. Okay. So I'm going to have to set this boundary. But what they told me is like showing that needing to create a structure in your day. Okay. Okay. So what I want you to do, if they're saying that, I really want you to work with your therapist and make sure you're taking your medications and all of that stuff. Okay. And then creating structure in your day is what I heard. And I'm not connecting with Lourdes right now. Okay. So creating structure in your day is going to help you stay focused a little bit more. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm sorry. Because I also know there's a lot of stigma connected with that as well. Okay. So I'm trying to be respectful, but I also know like legally I'm not in the wheelhouse to deal with some of that stuff. But I will tell you that they're talking about creating structure in your day is very helpful. Like, so maybe that's one of your guides saying, get your shit together. Sometimes they're a little blunt with us, and I don't mean it like to be like, but I have to tell it, like, give it the way it is, but I don't mean it in a like, you're messed up, there's a messy, but to me, it means more like creating structure in your day and like sort of focusing on things. Okay. Let me see. I'll scroll back up Dragon Empress and look at it because you are next. But I really, really, really have to move on. I speak my truth. Okay. There we are. No, wait. Oh, Dragon Empress, your mother was schizophrenic. You understood her. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm confused. Sorry. Okay. So I speak my truth. What I want you to do is, or what I would feel like would behoove you better than talking to me would be to talk to your therapist, because I'm not legally equipped to deal with this. And then I guess you have someone that helps you with your medications and balancing your medications and making sure that those are all in balance. Okay. I didn't see can you retype your question, Dragon Empress? Okay. So it's interesting to me when people ask me about, can people with mental health issues have the psychic stuff too? And I do. I think though that sometimes there's an imbalance where you might be pulling different things in, but I think that there are people that can help you. Okay. Can you copy and paste? I can't find it. I don't see it when I'm scrolling. And it would be extremely helpful if I don't know why I just don't see it. Is it like in the very beginning? I would greatly appreciate it if you would. I would greatly appreciate if you'd retype it. It would be very helpful because otherwise I'm going to sit here and scan forever, and sometimes it's just too much for my eyeballs and everything else. So I would appreciate it. Thank you. Sherry, if you want to type your question, or if someone has their question ready to go and they want to just like hit enter, and I'll do it. But I understand that it's long, but I would greatly appreciate it if you would take the time to retype it so I can, and then, because I can't find it, and there's a lot of conversation in there. Oh, that's helpful. Thank you, Linda. Linda said that to break the question up into 2 parts because it doesn't post. I didn't see it. So going through so many life changes and starting from complete scratch, accomplished a lot the first time. I'm older too. I feel so stuck right now. What can I do to move forward? Oh, you're Sherry. Okay, got you. Got you. Let me see. Your why wrote. Okay. Such is life. Okay. Sorry that I messed that up. Okay. So the first thing that came to mind when I read that is, well, you're not really starting from scratch because you have a whole bunch of under your belt already. Like you have the knowledge and everything else. It literally what I saw was there's this guy, and I actually think some of these people I watch, I think that they've asked questions on here, but Minnow Pontero, he'll say like, you're not really you're not starting from zero because you have like knowledge and things under your belt already. So as much as you feel like you're really not starting from zero. I don't remember which card he's talking about when he says that, but it's interesting. What can you do to move forward? So I felt really tight in my heart chakra and my solar plexus area. And that's sort of to me about, it's not that there's anything wrong with your heart or anything wrong with your stomach. That's not what I feel. But I do feel that there's blocks there which are blocking you from manifesting. And like, so your solar plexus is about how you relate to the world, how the world relates to you and your self-esteem. And your heart chakra is really about how you give and receive love. And a lot of us are really good at giving love and we're really sucky at receiving love. And my sense is really about, with the two in combination, is really about like rebuilding your belief systems, your self-concept. And your self-concept is like how you really know what's going on with your self-concept is like the reactions, the interactions you're experiencing with other people, how people treat you. If they're respectful and kind, then you feel good and you respect yourself on the inside. We create, we create our experiences, and how we feel about ourselves shows up. People have to show up and affirm those beliefs to us. So if we don't believe we're worthy or valuable, people are going to show up and let us know that we're not worthy and valuable. They may not say it directly, like, you're not worthy, but in other ways, if we don't feel like if we don't accept ourselves, we're going to show up as having these insecure attachments with other people outside us. And if we don't feel, like you have to validate yourself. If you don't like say like people will show up outside of you. If you don't love yourself, and you are lovable, because everybody is lovable, and anybody who told you different or made you feel any different was lying and wrong. And it isn't because you've earned it or because you had to do something to deserve it. You just deserve it by being. That's it. By being, you deserve it. And just by being, you are valuable. So our soul is that part of God, right? Our soul is that spark that connects to all that is. And that's what animates us. The rest of this is just an avatar. The part of you that's you is the part that animates you, right? And if that part's a part of God and you're constantly going, I'm not good enough, well, then you're saying God's not good enough. And you're saying God's a piece of crap. God's not lovable. And that's not true. You are lovable and you are deserving and you are perfect just as you are. So to me, it feels like really working on your self-concept and your core belief systems is what will push you forward and literally propel you into the next part of your journey. But that you are stuck until you do that. But you aren't starting from ground zero, because ground zero would have been no money, no career, all of that. Okay? So it's now more about focusing on the self and healing the self and doing all of that self stuff so that you when you manifest all of that new amazing home and all of that, like everything, all the good in your life, that you keep it because you know you deserve it and you deserve it, or you've earned it. And just because you got divorced does not make you not lovable. It doesn't make you a failure. I think there's a big misconception about divorce being about failure. Divorce is about the ending of a legal contract. That is what divorce is. And you get to that point because you've either grown in opposite directions, or one person's grown and the other person hasn't. You're vibrating differently. You're aware and awake to how things were not appropriate or not right, or dysfunctional. It doesn't have to mean about complete hatred and everything else. But you are not a failure. So take that off the books. It is hard. And you shouldn't give up. Ever. You're not a failure. You're just in transition. You're transforming. You're in caterpillar state, heading into chrysalis state. And you will soon be a beautiful butterfly with your wings and fly, and you take off and you just be beautiful. So I feel like listening to, and I like these affirmations. I'll do, I've got mine done. Now that my kids are in school, I have some quiet time. So I'm going to take some time in the next few weeks and kind of sit down and figure out how to record them and upload them. But affirmations for while you sleep. And he's got one called Limitless Manifester Self-Concept, something like that. And it's 8 hours and you sleep with it. And then you're going to have some cognitive dissonance while you're sleeping with it do 30 nights. Forget the 21, 30's better. You're going to get cognitive dissonance. And so for the first 7 to 9 days, you're going to either it's going to turn off, you're going to take the headphones off, you're going to do all this stuff, because what is cognitive dissonance? It is the subconscious, which is the part of you that runs when you're not really, you're not aware. It's just moving in robot mode, whatever. And it's going, wait, I'm comfortable. I was comfortable that way. Even if it's unhealthy, it's comfortable. I don't want to change. I don't want to change. I don't want to change. It's, it's that person at work who, I remember when we were shifting in nursing from being all handwritten charts to paper charting to computer charting. And all the older ladies were like, oh, this is going to take forever. They were just all just up in arms about having to use computers. And, or when the systems would go down, you had to switch back to paper. There was all kinds of glitches. But that's cognitive dissonance, the refusal to change, or the pushback to change, right? So I think there's still a little tweaking that needs to happen with the self-concept. And I think that's going to then push you forward. And then once you're just sort of moving through your day, and I feel like you'll sort of be skipping through your day, because you're vibrationally feel better, everything will just flow into place. And that's when you start putting out there. So what I like to do is I just put out there whatever I want to create, whatever's going to come to me will come to me quickly through my intuition. I'll be divinely guided to what will help me make money. Okay. Hi, Christopher. These are paid readings. They're $5 per question, and 30% goes to charity. And I always donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, because for every $1 that I donate, there are 3 meals provided for people. Yeah. I don't think, it could be a confidence thing, or just could be just shifting those beliefs. Look, what you've gone through can really throw you for a loop. And with manifesting for me, I like figuring out where the real, I like doing the sleep affirmations and they work great. So I'm not negating that, but I'm also sort of the investigator puzzler person. And I want to know where stuff comes from. And there is a collective belief around divorce. Just this not great feeling about it. And I don't think it has to be that way. And so when you start to think that way, stop yourself, because it's just the ending of a legal contract. Businesses dissolve, contracts get ended, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's time to move on. So shift those beliefs. That's where your core is. That's kind of keeping you stuck around that, feeling like a failure, and you're not a failure. You're not. And then also, shifting your self beliefs so that the next man that you attract in like 3 years, hint, hint, that you have a more stable relationship and a more emotionally fulfilling relationship, and one where you feel like you're valued and where you're treated with respect and like sort of honored. Okay. Starting with the affirmations, Annika, is what you're talking about. Start with it. It's good. It is good. And then so Dylan is always like, you just have to do the sleep affirmations and you're fine. And you do. Like, that's really all you have to do. But I sort of again, I like figuring out where the core source of the problem is, and then acknowledging it. Because for me, it's it stops me from continuing the process or moving down the line. And then, I don't know, whatever. It just works for me. The other thing I like to do is I like to write my affirmations down. I like to take, while I'm drinking my coffee in the morning or whatever, I like to take time and write down my affirmations after I made my list of to-do list for things to do today. And I also like to do affirmations with my kids at night, really just because I like the way it makes my heart space feel. That's it. Renee, will I meet anyone romantically? And where do I see you in your housing situation? Can you just be a little more specific about you and your housing situation? Do you, oh, never mind. Don't. Never mind. Don't. Okay. So it's funny the way you ask will you meet someone romantically? That's like a yes or no question, and like duh, yeah, obviously. So let's go for when will you meet someone romantically? Because I think the obvious is not really that fair, right? So I feel like you're going to meet someone in 3 months, but it just feels like a short-lived, maybe 4 or 5 dates. And then in 6 months, it feels like something is more promising. I don't know what this means. This is so weird. I don't know what this means. So just take it for what it is. Cause I literally am like, why would I hear that? If they said you have to eat where you're at. I don't know what that means. So then I don't know what that means. So I'm just throwing it out there because I heard it. It has nothing to do with your questions. I don't think. I don't know what it means. So if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, laugh it off because I don't know what it means. I often get things where I'm like, go figure. I do feel like with romantically, I still feel like you're a little energetically blocked. I feel like this I just feel closed off a little bit. I want to meet someone because I want connection and partnership, but feeling like a major issue with trusting that they're going to treat you well and all of that stuff. And my sense is that it's really more about remembering that you just have to trust yourself, right? So you have to trust that you're not going to fall for another person that's fit the pattern, because you're going to heed the red flags this time around. I don't know what it means. Do you guys hear that running across my upstairs? Thump, 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 thump. Um, so it just feels like, remember that you need to trust yourself and you're the only one you need to trust. And then you won't make the mistakes that you've made in the past. Or I don't know if they're necessarily mistakes, but you've already learned the lesson, so you won't follow the same patterns anymore. Okay, so where do I see you in your housing situation? I don't see you moving for like another year. So if you're looking at moving, it feels like it's like a year's time before you move. Picky's okay. Picky is okay. It's not, it's it's okay to have standards, and it's okay to have boundaries on what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. Hi, Jessica. These are paid readings. I appreciate you subscribing. They're $5 a question, and you see that in the description. And then 30% I always donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. $1 provides 3 meals. And I take the money off of the total off the top, not off of after what PayPal is taken out. I just do it from, whatever, $130, and I get, $39. Yeah, I know. It just feels a little, listen, if you don't, what did I say about psychic readings? If you don't like the timeline, if you don't like the direction it's going, if you're not happy with it, your life is not set in stone. This is a trajectory of where you're at energetically now. You want it sooner, manifest that sooner. So stop seeing setbacks. Circumstances don't matter. The universe is always working in your favor. Good things are always happening. Everything's always working out perfectly. I find the perfect place. It's this much money or less. Utilities included. No brokerage fee. Has lots of light. Put all your specifications down and it will happen. You can have what you want, not because you've earned it or the universe thinks they're going to gift it to you, but because that's how it works. And listen to Dylan James. Listen, he's great. This woman, Velez, can't remember her first name, is great. Neville Goddard is great. Wayne Dyer is great. You can have whatever you want. There's no I always think that when we do psychic readings like this, like I've had people tell me things and I'm like, nope. I have a friend who I asked a question once and I don't remember what it was. And I was like, I needed to hear you say it that way. It doesn't mean I'm fault. It's like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I needed to hear it said that way so that I can go, oh no, that's not right. I'm shifting that. So sometimes we need to get that, we need a sounding board. So the sounding board is, if you don't want that, then you manifest whatever the fuck you want and whenever you want it. The only reason why it seems like a big or a hard thing to do is because you've built it up in a story in your head that it's really big and it's really hard to do. But I went to nursing school. I started at UW Eau Claire in nursing, and then I wanted to have fun and I didn't want to study as hard. So I changed to healthcare administration. Because believe it or not, it wasn't easier. Running a hospital would have been easier than taking care of patients. So I went into healthcare administration and I did all the business courses, blah, blah, blah. I had a roommate who was in nursing, and I felt all these tugs that I should have shifted to nursing, but I didn't. And it wasn't until I was driving home from a management information systems class one summer, and I heard a voice in my head that said, hello, Stella. That said, you're going to nursing school and you're going to go to the tech and you're going to blah, blah, blah. Well, when I applied, they were like, well, if you do this, I was like, yeah, but I'm going to do it. This is happening. It's done. I'm not worried about it. And when I got into my last semester doing clinicals and stuff, right before I graduated, I remember one of my classmates, and I think there was like 10 of us maybe in the class, said, how did you even get in here? There was a wait list. Circumstances do not matter. Circumstances do not matter. When I'm telling you that, when you decide, it will all work out. And don't sit there and go, well, but let me figure out. And if I get it, you don't have to figure it out. Everything will fall into place. Okay? Everything will fall into place. All right, KK, do you want to ask your question? And then Crystal and Lana. What do I see happening for you over the next 3 weeks? Circumstances do not matter. Everything is always working out in my favor. That's another one. By divine right, it's mine, and you are a divine being, so you have the divine right. It's yours. You're welcome. Sorry, 3 weeks, KK. I'm with you. I keep feeling make sure you're stretching and rolling out your feet, because I feel a little bit of like a tightness in my the arch of my right foot, and then I feel kind of sore on the outer aspect of my left ankle onto the top of my foot. So I just feel like make sure you're doing good stretching for your running, because that may be something that flares up. So hopefully it doesn't, because I'm telling you about it. And then I keep hearing quick change, quick change, quick change, quick change. Like it just feels like something happens and all these changes start happening. And it's like, I don't know if it's with work and then with like the paperwork situation you've asked me about, but it just feels like quick change, quick change, quick change. Like everything sort of just changes at once and happens at once. Okay. Oh, good. So that makes sense to you, because it's like literally like I just see quick change and I feel like everything. Okay. And I also hear quick turnaround time. So I don't know what that means, if it's related to the paperwork thing or if it's related to like flipping jobs. Like I don't have you been applying? But it just feels like everything's quick, 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 quick. But it feels around those two areas specifically, not around and they just said to me, you're going to meet somebody with a dog. So are you talking to someone? And it's either a small dog or a puppy, because it's in a small frame of a body, and it's like a caramelly kind of color. All right. Crystal, you're up. Lana, you're up. Chanel and Regine, you're last, but definitely not least. You're very welcome. Thank you for always helping me out. It's the least I can do. Crystal, Lana, if you're here. Chanel, Regine, if anybody wants to ask a question, please speak now or forever hold your peas. There you are, Chanel. I've been told by another reader that I will get a gift from my boyfriend, Michael. That's going to make me very happy. Okay. So I heard he will propose, but not as soon as you'd like. And I actually feel like it's either like a pair of diamond earrings or something nice like that. I don't feel like it's a ring yet. He feels very methodical and also like he likes to keep you surprised, and you sort of always have a way of figuring it out, and he wants to like keep you on your toes. So like I feel like maybe it's your anniversary coming up and it would be too obvious to propose on your anniversary. So it's like, okay, we're not going to do it then, like, but I'll give her something nice then. Stop saying ugh, lol. Listen, enjoy the journey, and you can manifest something differently if you don't like it. Okay. So I'm right about that, right? So he wants to pick something. And I do feel like I keep seeing a hot air balloon. So I don't know if it's connected to the anniversary or if it's connected to the proposal. Christmas is not that far off. Let's be honest. I mean, don't you feel like the year has flown by already? I do. I heard he doesn't like to be cliche. So it's like asking you for your hand in marriage feels like he wants it to be spontaneous. Not really, but you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, Dupree, I'm going to return your money, okay? Because not because I don't love you, but because I'm setting boundaries, and I already told several people that the list is closed. So will you please, please, please do me a favor then and subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll be live again next Sunday at 4 p.m. Standard Time. Just issuing your refund. Okie dokie. All right, I just refunded your money, so no worries. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna leave you with that. I think we got yours, both of yours in there, yeah? You're welcome. I'm sorry, I was just laughing at like whenever there's like, they're like, we'll refund your money minus whatever for an administrative fee. I'm like thinking of like, it's literally like typing something. Like, are you kidding me? It's like click, click. All right, so Chanel is done. Sorry, I just want to make sure my list is like, yeah. Regine said, Mom and Dad live in France. Do you see them coming soon? We bought airline tickets, but because of COVID, they have restrictions on who can travel right now. Who can travel? Oh, the pregnancy. Sorry, Chanel. You're right. Thank you. I do see it, but I really don't see it happening until the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. Okay. And then they're showing me 2024 again. So it might be that there's a miscarriage in there, or you have Irish twins. I don't know if you know what Irish twins are, but when they're born, like you have a baby and essentially get pregnant pretty quick right after that. Like they're very close in age. I think it's less than a year. Some say it's like 9 months apart, but okay. So you will for sure. And then Regine's second question is, can you tell me more about the future husband? Manifesting. There you go. It is done. It is done, right, Regine? That's how you put it. It's done. It's done. I don't have to worry about it. It's done. You're welcome, Chanel. So I feel like, yeah, they will be able to travel in, but I heard just the nick of time. So it's like either what happens is they're here and then the borders get closed as soon as they get back, or they get here and something happens, but it feels like it'll be just in the nick of time. Okay. Just in the nick of time feels like that they'll make it, but just in the nick of time. And I don't know what that is, what that means exactly. Like, will they be coming in October? I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you wrote. Or will they be staying a month? My stomach is making all kinds of noises. Okay, we're coming in October. Hi, Crystal. Don't worry, I'll get you. Don't worry. I feel like they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're staying for a few weeks? Are they like coming in October and they'll be right, like it feels like maybe leaving then like November 1st or something like that, going back? It feels like it'll work out. It does feel like a little bit more of a hassle, like getting a COVID test before I get on the plane, like within whatever many hours, and then coming over, and they'll be able to stay. It's not going to be an issue. I know they live in France. I know. I know sometimes you guys have to remind me of things as my brain goes, but no, I think it'll be fine. My sense is it'll be fine. I feel like now I'm just picking up on your worry. My sense is it'll be fine. And then your second question is, can you tell me more about my future husband of mine? Well, if you're manifesting him, manifest what you want him to be like. Be specific. Just kidding. That's such a cop-out answer, but it's not meant that way. It's just sort of silly. What's interesting is the first thing I heard was he's very logical, but then I heard, but he's right-brained. And I'm like, so there's something very creative about him, and yet he's very grounded and down to earth, and practical. And I feel like he's really good at weighing options. Like he doesn't rush to judgment. He doesn't automatically like go with his like emotional, like whatever. Like he really looks at things from both sides and is as fair. So maybe he's a Libra, right? They're the scales of justice kind of thing. I keep seeing little freckles. Maybe he has some freckles on his face. I heard he's nice and he's warm. He's very warm energy. I feel like he likes to dress nice, but it's more casual than like, so whatever he does, he doesn't have to wear like a suit to the office, or he doesn't wear a uniform, like, so not a doctor or a, but I feel like he makes good money. More likely than not for me, I feel like he's an entrepreneur of some sorts. So. I was looking at that. You said I can have them come now. I feel them in October, being here in October. So maybe you bump it up in October. If it's like maybe if you were having them come the 13th, it ends up being like the first or something. But they'll be here. Okay, let me look at Crystal wants to talk to, and then Lana, I saw your question up here. Hang on, let me get Lana's and then Crystal's, because Crystal's yours is going to take just a tiny bit longer because it's mediumship. I let an employee go. She filed union grievance. What will the outcome of the meeting be in a few weeks? Will she get her job back? I am being brought to tell you this story because I feel like it's important that we get nervous when we work with unions, right? Because like, I'm going to go to my union, and unions can be pretty powerful. And then you're like, but I had this. So when I worked as a travel nurse, the nurses worked 12-hour shifts, but the aides worked 8-hour shifts. So there was change of shift. So my shift started at 7 a.m. or 6:45, and then I stayed till after 7 p.m. And their shift would end. The first shift would end at 3, and then the next one would start. Right. So 8 to 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. So at 3 o'clock, shifts would change, and you'd have to give the aides their new assignments. And on this one unit, the aides always took the same. Like usually, the aides had if you worked this room, you had these. You had these patients. They were always broken up the same group of patients or residents at this one place. And there was we were short-staffed, and so someone had come to work a double from another unit, and she got really mad about the assignment she got. But it was not like and the aides usually had the same assignments all the time because it was residents versus being, as it was a long-term care facility versus being acute care. And I didn't give her an absurd assignment. And then I was like, well, she didn't want it. And I was like, and I said, would anybody be willing to switch with her? And so, of course, one of the other aides that was one of the regulars, like, yeah, I'll take him. It's fine. It's not a big deal. She went and complained to the union about it. And the manager's like, oh, she complained to the union. I said, I didn't do anything wrong, so I don't care. You didn't do anything wrong. I feel like it feels like paperwork was kept appropriately. All the right things were gone through. So I don't feel like she'll get her job back. I just feel like it's going through the motions. She'll get unemployment. Okay. I don't feel like my sense is that if I was brought to that story specifically, that you didn't do anything wrong, that everything was done appropriately, and that's what'll happen with it. Hi, pretty tulips. Hi, Zane. Crystal, now let's see what we can do with you. Can you pick which one you want to connect with? I think I have your mom here, but I'm not sure. Did mom have headaches and a little bit of shortness of breath, but I'm really being focused on the headaches right now? Or head trauma. So headaches and or head trauma. And I feel like lots of light sensitivity. It's too late right now, pretty tulips, but if you'll come back next Sunday, I'm here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Are you here, Crystal? Thank you, though. Hit the bell and subscribe and stuff, and then you'll know when I go live. If you want to take the extra step, you can subscribe to my email list, and then you get a note. Like I sent out the email yesterday, and people started signing up already. So then you get on the list early, and you're gravy. And my business is built completely on my promise to you and my integrity. So I follow through and all of that good stuff. You're welcome, Lana. Crystal, are you here? I can't do mediumship without you here. It's really hard to do it without you here because I'm like plugging in and making sure I'm connecting with the right person. Oh boy, I don't want to sit here too long. Crystal, if you don't show up soon, I'm going to have to leave and I'll refund your money. Or I can keep it and you can ask your question next week and we can try connecting with mom next week. It's funny that you say the name Nellie because I had my daughter's babysitter when she was little was Nellie. And I don't have any family up here. So it was like, well, I mean, my husband's family's up here, but they live just a bit too far to be like a regular babysitter. And I just love her so much. She's such a sweet woman. She was diagnosed with Parkinson's just recently, or I found out about it recently, but she's had it for a couple of years now. Excuse me. Are you here? Anyone? Anyone? Crystal, are you here? I don't know why I hear that Pretty Tulips. I think I keep hearing the Willie Nelson song Pretty Pictures. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it says pretty, but pretty pictures. Mm-hmm. Do you happen to have blue eyes? I'm just reading your energy now because I'm waiting. Then I heard the song Blue Eyes Crying. So I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe there's something here. All right, Crystal, I'm going to go ahead and refund your money since you didn't, you were here and then all of a sudden you disappeared. And I don't want to hang out dead air for, 20 more minutes. Because I think it's like our dinner time and I got to get the girls in bed because they have school and they need to sleep and all of that good stuff. Oh, you're here. Okay, lags are hard. Did you hear me about the headache? You have a blue shirt. Interesting. Crystal, did your mom have a head injury or had really bad headaches at the end? So I just typed it in the thing, but so if you catch this, I'll sit for a minute. Make sure it fast forward so you make sure that you're on the same time with us because sometimes if you jump on us a little bit late or go back, there's a little bit of a lag because you're not actually feeding forward to the whatever thing. But did your mom have headaches and or light sensitivity, head injury, something like that? But I just felt such a pain here. It's really hard when there is a really big lag for me to do the mediumship. I want to be able to do it for you, but it is much more of a back and forth. I'm also finding myself clearing my throat a little bit, so I don't know if she had either a throat issue or she continually, or it feels very much my throat, not my respiratory. Did she have cancer that either created headaches and or metastasized to the brain? And then should she have like a weird throat thing? This is annoying. I feel like I can't even talk. This is weird. Did she have a problem with communicating, with expressing herself at the end too? She can communicate. Did it metastasize to her brain? Did it go to her brain? Did she have tumors in her brain as well? She just said, "Get moving on your dreams. Stop holding yourself back. Stop being afraid to fail." Did she have headaches? There's something with headaches. Or did your friend have headaches? Maybe they were coming in together. Did mom rock like this? Like, what is this? Why am I doing this? I think your mom and your friend are coming in together. Did your I keep hearing the Mario song, the Super Mario World song. Do 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 do, like when you play the old school Mario on Nintendo. Okay. So I think they're coming in together. I think that that's what's happening. So there's something with headaches see if you get validation with that. And did you play Super Mario with your friend? Oh, that's it. They just wanted Mario. That's it. That's all. Okay, hang on. I asked them to separate because I'm having a harder time. I'm keeping your mom here. I think your friend will come in a minute. Okay. I don't usually do two, but we'll just whatever. We'll see what happens. Does the stop letting fear stop you? Does that make sense to you at all? And Mario is not a name that would come to me other than like Super Mario Brothers. So that's probably why. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. So mom's making me feel like make sure that Mario knows about this stuff because I feel like he doesn't believe in all of this. Like he feels very much more like why would God like sort of that he's in that angry phase, right? So like why would God take this away from me kind of thing? And I feel like he needs validation to know that she's around. Do you guys have a cat or is there something there's about like a cat howling? You know, cats like wah. I had a cat that howled. She would go wah, like when she wanted to go outside. And like she was so even when we got her in Texas and then we moved to Wisconsin and she would like lay on the heating vents on the floor. She just loved to be hot and she would love to go outside, but she would like caterwaul, howl kind of thing. She said, "You're going to be fine. You're doing fine. You're doing great. Stop worrying if I'm going to be proud of you. I've always been proud of you. I've always been proud of you." She said, "I wasn't the best at saying it, but I've always been proud of you. I just wanted you to always do your best. I just wanted you to always be your best. And I saw that you don't always live up to your potential out of like um fear, like, and then I just heard fear of failure. Both of your brothers have cats. Okay, that's just validation. Would Mario's cat like howl or be like more vocal or more of a like a tomcat? Or does he have another animal where they like fight a lot like cats and dogs? It just feels like I don't know why they would say that, but it's like there's something validating that. I just want you to know your friend was like, I don't need to come through this time. I'll come through later. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. But the friend said no guilt. Don't have any guilt around it. Okay. So it's sort of like, she said after you wrote that, she goes, you'll see when you're on the other side that none of it matters. That none of it matters. So she said, blink of an eye, blink of an eye. Not meaning someone's going to go like, but it's just that time is so different, and understanding that like, certain things are meant to occur for certain lessons to be learned, and that we sort of all follow this really beautiful journey, and it looks really messy and it seems really unfair at times, but that it's like all ends up being, okay. She's laughing. She's like, I spent so much time worrying over so many things. Was she a worrier? She said, and getting upset over silly, stupid things, like just little things. It didn't make any sense. I feel like she shows you butterflies to show she's around. She brings your awareness to butterflies. It's not that she is the butterfly. She brings your awareness to the butterfly, that it's present. And also, I just got this little weird itch on my head. So if you ever feel like a little thing on your head, that's her kind of making herself known. She keeps saying, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So I want you to understand that your mom is always around you. She's reassuring you that you'll be fine and we'll all be okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to do the Dylan James thing, because she goes, life is not happening to you, it's happening through you. So like you create the life you want. Why did she goes, I wish I would have known that. Was your father difficult? Because she goes, I would have fixed your father. Was mom a worrier, by the way? Because I see you worry, but you need to not worry. But I feel like she was a worrier. So not to worry so much. It's not worth it. So she sees that you worry a lot about them. The thing I always like to tell people, like, listen, if the divine universe, the creator of all things, the initial creator of all things, looks at people and goes, well, stay in your mess if you want to stay in it. It's not my job to save you. Like, you have free will. Sorry. We should not, as human beings, feel like it's our job, unless they're your children and they're of, not adults. They're still little and require your guidance and your, all that. It's not your job to rescue everybody. You'll drown most of the time trying to do that. You can do your best to bring in awareness. You can do your best to let them know you care about them and love them. But at the end of the day, everybody has to take their own journey. She told you that all the time? Ah, I love that. She wasn't weak. Mm-mm. Did she also say put your money where your mouth is? Because it's funny, she showed me like felt her teeth and like diamonds in her teeth. But I'm like, I don't think she actually had diamonds in her teeth. And I was like, what? And she's like, put your money where your mouth is. So it's like, ante up. Like, don't just talk a big game, do it. I am not a gambler myself, so I don't know. I hope this was helpful. Um, she like gave you like, I don't know, she's kissing me or kissing you like on the head, and she's like, "I'll be back." So I feel like you're going to get um, little signs that she's around. She's not leaving you. Okay. I hope this was helpful. You have a lovely week. I will see you guys this week during the week. I'm going to start. I kind of like doing these manifesting chats, and I hope they're helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoy them. But I'm gonna annoy you because I have all this free time now that my kids are in school. Okay, so have a wonderful week. Thanks for supporting me. Thank you for helping support the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Share me with your friends. Tell people about me. You are a powerful being, and I will see you soon. Bye. Thank you, KK.